Let's turn my very first trade show booth sign into a little piece of memorabilia while I recap my biggest takeaways. One thing I heard from an experienced exhibitor that really stuck with me was that sometimes all it takes is a 5-minute conversation to completely change the trajectory of your business. And after spending 3 days talking to buyers, manufacturers, and other exhibitors, I can totally see why people say that. You really never know which conversation might open a door down the road. Another thing I learned is that trade shows are completely different from markets. Obviously, I knew this to a certain extent, but I really saw the difference being there. At a market, you usually know how you did and how the market was by the time you pack up. And at a trade show, even though you can place orders there, the payoff oftentimes comes later. It's all about follow-up emails, the relationships you build, and the opportunities that might come weeks or even months after. Our exhibitor neighbor said that sometimes she doesn't even judge how successful a trade show was until 6 months down the line. I thought this was such an interesting perspective because it really shifts your expectations. My expectations going into my first trade show were definitely much different than they're going to be going into my second one. It's less about what happens that weekend and more about what those connections turn into over time. Overall, I'm so glad that I had this experience and I'm excited to do more trade shows in the future. I definitely stepped outside my comfort zone with doing this, but I also learned that it wasn't as scary as I thought it was. I learned so much in just a few days and I'm so excited to see where some of these connections lead.